Hi guys, and welcome to Mark Bajerski YouTube channel, Jimbaran Beach. And do you want to see what's behind you? I'll show you. Take a look. That is the Four Seasons Hotel and Resort. It's one of the most amazing experiences in the world apparently. I had a coffee there yesterday and I've got to say it was the most amazing coffee I've ever had, and it's probably the same price as a Starbucks, you know, but you get all the amazing service and kindness, and you know, the place is gorgeous, and sometimes it's nice to treat yourself, you know, go and get a coffee somewhere really nice. It makes you feel happy, you know, and yeah, one time I would never have done that, but it's nice. Anyway guys, today's a lovely day and I wanted to talk to you about something which is going to cause a lot of issue. Again, I'm going to get a lot of grief over this because it's something that is extremely delicate, but the reason why I've come to this new conclusion is because of what's called synchronicity. Really interesting 2 weeks I've had. The 7-day retreat went really well. In between that, I had to switch my phone off because I was receiving message after message, and that was my friends were telling me that their close family or themselves have just been diagnosed with cancer. And I've got to say, I think that's 7 people who I know personally in 1 week have now been diagnosed with cancer, and it was a challenge because I had to switch my phone off because I had other things to concentrate on. But afterwards I started to make some calls and do some healing, send some healing, and this is where it gets a little bit interesting. One of my first videos that I did, the first maybe 30 or 40 videos, I talked about cancer, and if some of you remember, it was I think I was at it was a show in Marbella. It was one of the early day shows that I was doing, and this beautiful man came up to me, very peaceful, very loving, and laid down and had a healing session, and I found myself being drawn to an area which was extremely delicate. It was burning my hands, and I knew there was something very wrong while I was there. And when he opened his eyes, he says, "You aware I have my problem?" And I said, "Well, I think you may have to just have it checked out." He says, "I have, Mark, it's testicular cancer." And I said, "Okay." And he said, and these were the words that really struck home. He basically told me that he's lived a life like a guru, never eaten any meat, doesn't drink, doesn't smoke, eats vegan in that way, didn't have sugar, and basically he spent 6 months of the year in an ashram meditating, and 6 months of the year in his own retreat center which he owned. He'd met all the famous people like Paramanansa Yoginanda when he was young, so he was a very experienced man. And what he said to me is, this shouldn't have happened. Now here's the thing. I was having a conversation with a gentleman 2 nights ago on social media, and he inboxed me and he said, "The person that you once spoke about was a friend of mine." And he said, I said, "Really?" I said, I've always found that fascinating. That story has led me to believe that if you're going to get cancer, it's going to happen whether you eat healthy or... And he says, "Well, actually, Mark, did you ask him if he had any issues in his life?" And I said, one of the biggest things I asked him was, have you any controversy or issues in your life that you can look back at and say, I think this could have been a cause? And he told me no. And he said, "Well, actually, Mark, he lied to you. He did have a problem." Now, I'm not going to say what it is, but that then leads me to where I am today now. So here goes. How do we prevent cancer? Not how do we cure it, how do we prevent it? I can't help with the cure side of things. Once it's there, then I don't know I'm not a trained doctor, and I know nothing other than I would work with you and help you along your journey. But how do we prevent cancer, and what are the 3 most powerful things we can do to prevent cancer? Well, my philosophy has changed now, and here's my new philosophy. The first thing that is the most important thing we need to do to prevent cancer is looking after our body in an exercising way, meaning we have to walk every day. We have to release all the body from the blocks, all the issues from the body, all the stress that's within the body. We need to move our body to let our body circulate. We need to move our body to let our body start to use all the parts necessary, i.e. when you walk, your heart starts to beat faster, meaning that your heart starts to work faster, meaning that your heart is now starting to do its job more. So when the heart starts to work, it then I presume everything else in the body then starts to work. So when you do exercising, so if you go for a walk for 40 minutes a day, your whole body starts to attune and starts to wake up and starts to, it's a bit like oiling the joints. Once you start oiling and moving that joint, it stops squeaking. Once it stops squeaking, then it's all perfectly and back to normal again. So that is number 1. That is number 3 for me. Exercise is really important. And even if you're in a wheelchair, move your arms, do whatever you can do to exercise yourself, okay? Whatever you can do. If you're poorly and not well, try to do a few exercises. You know, when I was younger, they always used to say, you know how to heal a bad back? Exercise it. One time they used to say how to heal a back was to lay on your back and don't move for 6 months. I still come to the same belief system that if you do things gently and work your way up, you're strengthening your body, you're strengthening your muscles, which means you're strengthening all the inside muscles, everything that what we need to keep strong inside. So that's number 1. Okay, number 2, here goes, number 2, is eating correctly. Eating correctly is 2 forms to me now. One is what you put in your mouth, and one is what you don't put in your mouth. There are many things that we should be putting in our mouth that help us avoid cancer. Now, I've spoke about this before, okay? Apricot kernels is a brilliant nut from the apricot, which is amazing. It is something that we've lost. It's no longer here. Black seed oil is amazing. We are now realizing that all the CBD oils and all the other oils, they're fantastic. So we're now starting to realize that we need to put things into our mouth. So a lot of the times is because we're not putting things into our mouth which is necessary for our healing process. So fruit and vegetables, 100%, without a shadow of a doubt, fruit and vegetables, in my humble opinion, is the number 1 caretaker of your body on a health side for what you need to replenish, electrify the body so it's functioning properly. Okay, fruit and veg, okay? You know, look at what you're eating, look at what's happening now, that everything's coming out that we've all been talking about. Look at the salmon that you're buying, farm salmon. It's the most toxic stuff in the world. Look at everything that you eat and do it for yourself. Don't do it because you're a conspiracy theorist. Don't do it because you're going crazy. Oh, if I look at everything like that, I won't be able to eat anything. Actually, that's a good thing. Look at things very carefully and say, I'm not eating that because my body's worth more. Because if you look back and say, Jesus, like, I've got cancer now, what am I doing? Well, maybe it's because you've been putting the bad stuff in your mouth, and trust me, you don't want cancer. You don't want to go down that path. So look after your body, eat correctly, stay off any GMOs, and really look for drinking water which is purified. Okay, these are the things you need to start looking at. I drink lemon juice every morning, or as often as possible. I take black seed oil as often as possible, and I make sure I don't put crap in my mouth. I've stopped that now, and if I slip, it's only 1%, and you know what? It's not worth it. I just put good stuff in my mouth because I want a healthy body. And you know what? When you're putting rubbish inside your mouth, you feel it in your stomach, you feel it in your body, you feel it in your mind, you feel it in your life. Eat plenty nuts if you can eat nuts, okay? Introducing nuts into your life keeps your mind healthy, and I'll go on to number one reason. Number one reason, I think the most powerful way to keep cancer at bay, and I'll put my hand on my heart and I'll bet you in 20 years time they will come to the conclusion that this is true. I have been saying this for many years as a practitioner, for 14 years. If you live in fear, you cannot heal your physical body. Your body will not heal itself if you live in fear. So my belief is, number one, you have to live with a happy life. You have to clear your worries, you have to clear your fears, you have to clear all the things that make you feel bad. Because when you feel bad, I promise you this, your immune system gets hacked, and your immune system is what keeps you healthy. If you are feeling down, your immune system is down. If your immune system is down, that's when anything can happen to your body. So you have to put 100% into being happy, working on your happiness, clearing the fear, clearing the worries, getting rid of toxic people in your life, getting rid of all the bad things that make you sad, and work on your happiness, work on your healing, working on your spiritual self, working on why am I here, what am I doing here, what do I want in my life, how do I want to make a difference in my life, how do I bring happiness into my life every day. By doing that, and it might sound silly, but by doing that, you create an immune system so powerful that no cancer can eat away at you. And I will guarantee you this, I will put my word on it, I'll stake my reputation on it. I bet you in 20 years time from now, if not maybe, 20 years I reckon, there will be scientific evidence that says that your immune system is that what keeps you healthy. And the only way to have a healthy immune system is by having a balanced body, mind, body and spirit. And that is not hocus pocus. That will be science-based, because science is always 20 years behind spirituality and the real truth about how we live in a healthy body. So remember guys, everything that's around you, your environment, what you eat, is extremely important. Remember, your exercise is extremely important. So how you move your body, what you do with your body, yoga, meditation, all of these things, grounding yourself, giving yourself space and time, so important. And number one, spiritually speaking, find your happiness. Well guys, I hope some of that meant something to you today. I hope I wasn't too OTT and a bit heavy on what I was saying, but I am passionate about this. And you know what, if we can eliminate cancer in our lives, then we've all done the right thing, and I'm working on that every day. So I practice what I preach, guys, and I don't follow the path of sadness. I don't follow the path of feeling down, negative and weak. I don't follow a path of bitterness, of jealousy, of anger and of judgment. I follow a path of love and happiness, and that is all that is important in my life these days. So if you want to join me, you know where I am. High five. Okay guys, well, from a very, very beautiful Jimbaran beach. Isn't it beautiful? Look at that. And I'm just writing my 4 books. So yeah, I'm working really hard. So all I want to say is I wish you all the love in the world and the healing. And remember, putting yourself first and giving yourself the time and putting yourself as that thing that is so important that you have to work on daily. You know, it's so important to put yourself first, guys, and that's what I've started to work on, putting myself first. So you can see the change in me. So I'm living proof. Put the work in, put the work in, put the work in, because in the end you'll look back and look at yourself in the mirror and say, wow, I'm so proud of what I've done. And that isn't being selfish to anybody else. You do it for you, so now I can shine. And you know what? My work is even more powerful, and I love people even more now, and people feel that. So it's a win-win situation. So I'll leave you on this note. one line: invest in you, because you're worth it. Bye guys, from my heart to yours. Thank you for subscribing to Mark Bajerski YouTube channel, and thank you for buying crystals from my website, markbajerski.com. It's been a great week, and they'll be sent off to you very shortly, so bear with us. Love you all. Yay, we did it! Bye guys.